What if I told you that one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history almost walked away from the game after the worst season of his career? Travis Kelce, three-time Super Bowl champion, 11-time Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer. At 36 years old, coming off a season where his Kansas City Chiefs went 6-11 and missed the playoffs for the first time in over a decade, retirement seemed inevitable. The rumors were everywhere. Sports analysts debated it daily. Fans braced themselves for the announcement. Even his teammates weren't sure what he'd decide. But then, something unexpected happened. Today, we're breaking down the truth behind Travis Kelce's retirement rumors, what actually went down this offseason, and what it means for the Chiefs in 2026. Stick around, because this story has more twists than a playoff game in overtime.
Let's set the stage. If you're going to retire from the NFL, the end of the 2025 season would have been the perfect time for Travis Kelce. First, consider his age. At 36, Kelce is ancient by NFL standards, especially for a position that demands the athleticism of a receiver and the physicality of a lineman. Most tight ends are done by 33. Rob Gronkowski retired at 33. Antonio Gates played until 39, but he was a unicorn. The odds were stacked against Kelce continuing. Second, his resume is complete. 3 Super Bowl rings, the Chiefs' all-time leader in receiving touchdowns, a surefire first-ballot Hall of Famer. What else is there left to prove? But here's the kicker, and this is huge. The 2025 season was an absolute disaster for Kansas City. The Chiefs finished 6-11. Let that sink in. A franchise that had made 3 straight Super Bowl appearances before 2025 suddenly couldn't win games. They missed the playoffs for the first time since 2014. And it got worse. In Week 15, Patrick Mahomes, the golden boy, the cheat code, the guy who makes everyone around him better, tore his ACL. The injury that no quarterback wants to face, the recovery that takes months, the uncertainty hanging over 2026. For Kelce, this created the perfect exit ramp. You don't want to end your career on a losing season, right? But you also don't want to stick around for what could be a long, painful rebuild. Throughout November and December, Kelce was asked about retirement constantly. His answer? I'm not making any decisions until after the season. After the Chiefs' final home game of 2025, Kelce stood on the field at Arrowhead Stadium, soaking in what many assumed would be his last moment in front of the home crowd. He told reporters, "You only get a few of those where you just get to stand there and appreciate 60, 70,000 Chiefs fans screaming for you. I always embrace that moment, man. It's fun." It felt like a goodbye. Fans were emotional. Social media exploded with tribute videos. The retirement watch was officially on. And then, weeks of silence. As free agency approached in March, NFL insiders started dropping hints. Ian Rappaport, one of the most connected reporters in football, said the Chiefs wanted Kelce back and planned to meet with him after the Super Bowl to finalize a plan that works for both parties. But here's where it got interesting. Diana Russini from The Athletic reported that several teams around the league believed Kelce was motivated to play a 14th season. But there was a catch. For the first time in his career, Travis Kelce would become a free agent. That's right, the man who had only ever worn a Chiefs uniform might test the open market. Suddenly, this wasn't just a retirement story. This was a "where will Travis Kelce play in 2026" story. Teams started doing the math. A proven veteran tight end, even at 36, who can still put up 850 yards and lead a team in receiving, that's valuable. Contenders started making calls. Let's talk about something that definitely played a role in this decision, even if we can't measure exactly how much. Taylor Swift. Travis and Taylor got engaged in August 2025. Their wedding is reportedly scheduled for June 2026. The relationship became global news, with Taylor attending Chiefs games throughout the season and Travis showing up at her concerts during the offseason. But here's what's fascinating, and Kelce confirmed this himself. Watching Taylor's work ethic influenced his decision to keep playing. In an interview on the Pat McAfee Show, Kelce said, It's amazing to see her keep going to the table, keep finding new things to write about, keep finding new melodies, still seeing her have that love and joy in what she does. Something like that definitely motivates me to say, you know what, I'm not done either. Love him or hate him, you have to respect that. Your partner's dedication to their craft inspiring you to push yourself further, that's real. Another massive factor came in January when the Chiefs made a huge coaching move. They brought back Bieniemy as offensive coordinator. For those who don't know, Bieniemy was the Chiefs' OC from 2018 to 2022, basically Kelce's best years. Those were the seasons with the explosive offense, the Super Bowl runs, the record-breaking performances. When Jason Kelce mentioned Bieniemy's return on their New Heights podcast, Travis's response was telling. I can't wait to see him back in the building. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time. It's going to be awesome to see him back in the building. Notice the present tense. Can't wait to see him, not would have been great to play for him. That was a major hint.
On a Monday in early March 2026, Ian Rappaport dropped the news. Travis Kelce was returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. The initial deal? 1 year, $12 million, with incentives that could push it to $15 million. But wait, it gets better. Just a week later, the Chiefs announced they'd signed Kelce to a 3-year, $54.7 million contract extension. This wasn't just one more year. This was Kelce potentially playing until he's 39 years old. In a social media video after signing, Kelce made it clear. Chiefs Kingdom, let's go, baby. I'm excited for 2026 and just excited to put on a Chiefs uniform in front of you guys again. The retirement rumors? Dead. The free agency speculation? Done. Travis Kelce is a Chief for life. Why he stayed? So why did he come back, especially after such a brutal season? First, loyalty. Kelce explicitly turned down bigger offers from other teams. Rappaport reported he could have commanded top dollar on the open market, but chose to stay with Kansas City, take less money, and compete for another Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. Second, unfinished business. Nobody wants to end their career after a 6-11 season. Kelce has too much pride for that. He wants one more shot at redemption, one more chance to prove he can still do it at the highest level. Third, the pieces are in place for a comeback. Yes, Mahomes is recovering from an ACL tear, but he's Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs brought back Bieniemy, who knows how to use Kelce better than anyone. The defense still has talent. This isn't a complete rebuild, it's a reload. And fourth, he's still got it. Let's not overlook this. Kelce led the Chiefs in catches, 76, receiving yards, 851, and touchdowns, 5. Those are down numbers by his standards, but most tight ends would kill for that stat line. Let's break down what this deal means. At $54.7 million over 3 years, Kelce is averaging about $18 million per season. That's not top-of-the-market money for an elite tight end. Guys like Travis Kelce in his prime would command $20 to $25 million annually. So he did take a discount. But here's the thing. This contract gives Kelce security while giving the Chiefs salary cap flexibility. It's a win-win that keeps the band together while allowing Kansas City to upgrade other positions. The structure also suggests the Chiefs are committed to building around Mahomes and Kelce for at least a couple more years. This isn't a farewell tour. This is a genuine attempt to get back to championship contention.
Okay, so Kelce is back. What does that actually mean for Kansas City in 2026? Let's start with the obvious. They're immediately better. Losing Kelce would have been devastating. He's not just a receiver, he's a security blanket for Mahomes, a veteran leader in the locker room, and one of the smartest players in football when it comes to reading defenses. With Bieniemy calling plays and Kelce anchoring the passing game, the Chiefs' offense should look a lot more like the explosive unit from 2018 to 2022 than the struggling squad from 2025. But let's be real, there are massive question marks. The Mahomes factor. Everything hinges on Patrick Mahomes' recovery from that ACL tear. ACL injuries have ended careers. They've derailed seasons. Even when players come back, they're often not the same right away. Mahomes is special though. He's got the best medical team money can buy. He's got an entire offseason to rehab, and he's one of the most competitive athletes on the planet. If Mahomes comes back at even 90% of what he was, the Chiefs are a playoff team. If he's 100%, they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders again. Roster questions. The Chiefs have holes to fill. They traded away cornerback Trent McDuffie for draft picks, signaling they're not afraid to make tough decisions to rebuild. They need help at wide receiver. Kelce can't do it all by himself. And they need a pass rusher opposite George Karlaftis. But here's the silver lining. Having Mahomes is still a cheat code. Even with roster questions, even after a 6-11 season, you can't count out a team with the best quarterback in football and one of the greatest tight ends ever. The AFC West. Kansas City's division got tougher. The Chargers are good. The Broncos are improving. The Raiders are, well, the Raiders are there. The point is, the AFC West won't be easy, but it's not insurmountable. If the Chiefs can steal a wildcard spot and Mahomes gets hot in January, we've seen this movie before. Kelce's role. One thing to watch, how much will the Chiefs use Kelce in 2026? At 36, he can't be the focal point of the offense every single play. The smart move is to preserve him, use him strategically, and make sure he's fresh for the playoffs, if they get there. Expect to see Kelce in high-leverage situations, third downs, red zone, 2-minute drills. That's where his experience and intelligence shine brightest. Let's zoom out for a second. What does this decision mean for Travis Kelce's legacy? If he plays 3 more years and retires at 39, he'll have spent his entire career with one franchise. That's rare in today's NFL. Guys bounce around for bigger contracts all the time. Kelce could have done that. He chose loyalty instead. That matters. When people look back at his career, they'll remember not just the stats and the rings, but the fact that he was a Chief through and through. But here's the risk. If these next 3 years are mediocre, if the Chiefs don't make another deep playoff run, does that tarnish the legacy? I don't think so. Kelce has already done enough to be remembered as one of the greatest tight ends ever, alongside Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, and Antonio Bates. A few down years at the end won't change that. The human side. Beyond the stats and the contracts, there's something admirable about watching a 36-year-old athlete bet on himself one more time. Kelce could have walked away. He could have retired to his podcast, his relationship with Taylor, his various business ventures. Nobody would have blamed him. Instead, he chose the hard road. He chose to put his body on the line, to risk injury, to face the possibility of more losing seasons. Why? Because he loves the game, because he believes in his teammates, because he's not ready to let go. That's the kind of competitor you want on your team.
So, is Travis Kelce about to retire? The answer, as of April 2026, is a resounding no. He signed a 3-year extension. He's motivated. He's got his favorite coordinator back. He's got Patrick Mahomes, hopefully healthy, throwing in the ball. The retirement rumors were real. The speculation was justified, but Kelce made his choice and he chose football. For Chiefs fans, this is incredible news. For the rest of the NFL, it's a reminder that you can never count out Kansas City, not when you've got Mahomes and Kelce together. Will Kelce play all 3 years of this contract? Who knows? Athletes change their minds, bodies break down, but for now, Travis Kelce is all in on 2026, and that makes the NFL a whole lot more interesting. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your prediction. Will the Chiefs make the playoffs in 2026? I'll see you in the next one.